This is what we're trying to make today. So our little trig folder that unfolds with all your trig information in it. And I'm going to show you how to do that using the printout file that I have for you. Now there are two options. I have one where you already have all the highlighted pieces here already done for you. And I have one, if you don't have a color printer, I have one where you can just do the black and white version, and then you can go in with a highlighter yourself and highlight all the parts for it that you need. These are the things we're gonna need. Either you're gonna, if you don't have a color printer, you're gonna do the black and white version of the there should be 6 sheets that printed out here. Or if you have a color printer, I have one already made with the highlighting on there. You're gonna need a glue stick, some tape, a pair of scissors, 2 sheets of just plain paper. And if you're doing the black and white version, you're gonna need 4 different colored highlighters. You're gonna start with the 2 blank sheets of paper. You're gonna fold both of them in half, hot dog style, not hamburger style, or I should say almost in half. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold the left one down the middle, but the key is that you don't want it perfectly in half. You wanna leave, so we're gonna slide it up a little, about 2 millimeters or maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So it's not a perfect fold. You're gonna leave a little bit of room there, like that on this side here. I folded the first one on the left, and now I'm gonna fold the other one in a similar way on the right-hand side, so. And again, I'm gonna leave a little bit of room because we're gonna have to make room for some of the other folds. So if you do it, it's gonna get too tight and it's gonna buckle. So you wanna leave some room there before you fold. Now that I've folded both the left and my right side, I'm going to open them up, and then I'm gonna tape them together and try to make the seam tape together as perfectly as possible. I have now put tape in 3 different spots. You could do more if you wanted to, but it's not necessary. So now I've taped together to make one big sheet out of it with 2 folds in it, here and here. The next step, we need to find the right sheet that we're gonna put inside our 2 folds. So this here, the first one on top when you print it out, is going to be the cover. And it looks very much like the next sheet, except there are reference angles and angles in each of the quadrants here, here, and here. That's the sheet we're gonna put on first, the one that has the angles. This one, the cover, you can put aside and leave. That's gonna be the last one we're gonna use. So the way we're gonna put this in is right in the center, like that. So that it looks like it has little doors on here, like that, like that. And this is where you flip it over. You use a glue stick and make sure you get all of the edges. And I also tend to secure a little extra spots here and here, like make a cross maybe, and then all the way around the edges, out to the edges. And that gets glued into the middle here. So I put my glue on. I also did like 2 lines because we made the paper just to strengthen it a little bit. And I think I have to put the camera down to be able to put this in the correct spot. But it goes, you see we have right down in the middle here, okay? Now that I've glued down the middle piece, I'm gonna flip it over and concentrate on finding the piece that I put in the middle on the back. So I gotta get my printouts. This one I'm gonna leave for now. I want the one with the graphs on it. So we're gonna go and find the one with the graphs on it. That's gonna be the back. It's the last sheet in the bundle. So this sheet here, again, I'm gonna glue it onto the back. I'm gonna make sure I go around all of the edges and then probably make 2 lines down the middle to help reinforce where I taped it together before. And it goes there on the back. I have now glued that last sheet down the center, and I'm going to flip it back over to the front, like so. And now I need to find my 2 side panels. So the ones that we put on the side, I'm looking back at the 4 sheets I have left. This is still my cover. That's gonna be the last one I'm gonna put on. And this is the second to last one. But we're gonna do the 2 side panels. And it's just a preference thing. I'm gonna put the one that has the law of cosine to the right. And I'm going to put the one that has all of my derivatives and integration of trig function to the left, like that. You could switch the 2 if you wanted to, but I prefer having it this way. So now I'm gonna go and glue these 2 sheets, but remember, the only place that has contact is half of it. So I'm actually gonna put the glue on this part here, like so, and then make a crisscross here, like that, just to reinforce it a little bit. And then I'm gonna do the same on this one. I'm gonna put the glue on the actual folder itself here. Oh, I'm not pointing, sorry. Here, like that, and make a crisscross just to enforce it. And I probably, you see where these 2, where this line is, I'm gonna make 2 glue lines down this way because eventually we're gonna be cutting. So it would be nice to have it nicely reinforced here, and the same on the other side. I'll show you that in a second. I'm not sure if it shows on camera, but look, where the glue is, I'm just trying to flip it upside down so you can see. Oh yeah, there's where the glue is. And then I'm gonna put my 2 side panels down on the sides there. So to the left, so it'll look like there's 3 sheets next to each other. So now I've glued those down. I left just a tiny little bit of room because we're gonna be folding. So if they're touching too closely together, then they'll start buckling. So you might wanna just leave a little bit of room in between here and here, so there's folding room. So this is not the time to be perfect. You just wanna leave a little bit of room there. And then the next step is to then fold. So now we're gonna fold over this part here on both sides. And you're gonna do the same on the, so it's just that along that last line here, we're gonna fold over, and the same for the other side, we're gonna fold. So now I've folded over. In this case, I actually folded them perfectly. I folded them, or perfect and perfect, you know, but I folded it along this black line that I drew down the middle here. Some people fold before they glue, but it just visually gets really hard to explain that. But you want to have it folding along that, or close to that black line down the middle. So we have it folded here and here so far. And then the next step is to take the one with, this is all from geometry and all the special angles, the unit circle from pre-calc and algebra, and some conversions from degrees to radians and radians to degrees, which is helpful. And those we want to have as soon as you open them up because you're going to use them a lot. So what you need to do is use your scissors and cut down the middle here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I used my scissors and I cut down the middle of that last sheet there, first that we were looking at. And then I'm going to take those 2 pieces and glue onto the piece of the part that I just folded over. So I'm going to glue those here. We folded these over this one here. We're going to glue to the back of that one, And then this one was folded over on this side. We're gonna glue on there, like that. And the same thing as before, we're gonna eventually be cutting along this line. I'll show you guys that in a minute, but you wanna reinforce along here, or you could even do it on the actual paper itself. That might even be better. The actual folder itself, put the glue there first and then glue the pieces on. So the two pieces have now been glued on, and then we're gonna fold it closed completely. We're almost there, but what I noticed mine, I might have folded a little too tightly, is buckling a little bit. So you can always go in, like I can see here, oh, I might wanna cut a little piece of that off here. Might wanna like adjust the corner a little bit. You can polish it off a little bit afterwards if it's folding too tightly. That's okay. I might have to adjust it a little here. But our last step, well, not last step, but the last thing we need to glue on, or the last sheet we're gonna use, is the cover. So the cover goes like this, but I have to cut it down the middle first before I adhere it to the folder. So I've now cut it down the middle, my cover, and we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make some room here. We're gonna go ahead and adhere those to the last fold here, like that, and like that, like that. So I have to put some glue on there and then attach them onto the folder itself. Again, once I put the glue on, I reinforce down the middle because we're gonna be cutting along that in a little bit once everything is glued on and dried. But you wanna have a little extra down here in the middle just to reinforce it also. Again, it might start buckling. Oh boy, that was a struggle for me for a little bit. I got a little bit of glue on here, but you should have had it glued onto the front now. So now if you unfold it, you have all of your pieces. You can fold it back like that. And then on the other side as well, whoop, like that. We're gonna let it dry for a little bit. Until it's ready to cut. Like that. And while we wait for it to dry for a little bit, if you guys wanna be fancy, you can get one of these little pockets to put it in once you're done. We're almost there. Like a little storage pocket, like that. And if you have some friends that are taking pre-calc, you could always be nice and make them one as well. So the last step to being done is that we have to cut, but you have to be really careful how you do this, okay? You're gonna open it up just once, just to here, like that. And then you're gonna go ahead and cut from here to there. Do not cut into the middle part, but only cut to here so that this part gets loose. So it's hard. I'm trying to do this with one hand. So I'm gonna cut along here, down the line that's been drawn. Ooh. Sorry, this is really hard to show with one hand, but oh, mine is off a little bit. Oops. Okay, you can be more accurate. You'll have two hands, but try and cut down that. I missed it a little bit, and I'm gonna put down the phone to do it on the other one, other side, a little more accurate. But you stop there so that it loosens that piece up. Do not keep going. Just stop right here. And then we're gonna do the same on the other side. And I'm gonna put the phone down and do it properly because that was hard. So I'm gonna cut along here until I get to there, like that. So now I've cut there, you see there, and I stopped here. And then I just have to make sure that it loosens up here. If it's still, these two, the top and the bottom are still stuck together, it means you just need to cut a little further. And there we have it. Let's see. Oh, I'm turning it upside down. All right, so now when we close it up, you have each of the 4 panels for each quadrant. So here, like that. You can open one door at a time. On this side here, a unit circle and some derivatives and integrals of trig functions. On the back, we have the graphs, a little bit transformations here. And if you are doing the black and white version, you need to go and get your 4 highlighters. You can pick any 4, but the key is quadrant 1 is yellow in my case. You could pick whatever color you like. And then here, the reference angle and the angle here is yellow. But then we're gonna go to the back with the graphs. And in quadrant 1, which is from 0 to pi over 2, it's gonna be yellow here. So then you highlight all of the graphs that are in quadrant 1 yellow. So that's how that corresponds. So this is quadrant 1 again. Look, we've completed a full period, so it's yellow again. So that's how to do the highlighting part. And then quadrant 2 is then green. So I ensured that it was green everywhere. And quadrant 3, orange, and so forth. But whatever colors you choose is just fine. And then, like I said before, if you want to be really fancy, put it in a little pocket to store it in so that it doesn't get all messy. That's it. Trig folders for you.